to this one right here. He wanted to smoke, then he got smoked. Now he looking like a joke. OKC at 5. He wanted that smoke, then he got smoked. Now he looking like a joke. OKC at 5. Can we say overrated, overrated, overrated? Anthony Edwards is overrated, overrated. Yeah, Anthony Edwards is overrated. So let's talk about this, folks. The excuse train will come out for Anthony Edwards, and I can just feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. And what constitute this guy getting off the hook, basically by the media, was he got to take more shots. He got to take more shots. And I've only heard like a couple of people say, for the most part, yes, he had to take more shots. That's obvious. But the obvious thing is he had to have developed an overall game, folks. You can't do that overnight. And it's just something he doesn't have. Okay? He's something he just doesn't have because he never worked on it. And this is what I've seen, many times when they were showing that pregame show and you see Anthony Edwards out there just chucking up threes. And I'm not trying to say, he's the only one that does it and stuff like that, but that's the only game he really has in this drive to the basket, yelling like a little female. But yeah, let's give OKC their due because it's due. And it looked like, the Timberwolves was having one last gasp of air, and it looked like, time to times they would go on some type of run, because when you got a lead like that, man, they were up by like 35. I think, weren't they up by like 40 at one point? It was just embarrassing to watch as far as professional players at the highest level play basketball. That's what it was. As good as OKC was, it was embarrassing to watch. It was kind of like watching the OKC, Denver game, how that thing got out of hand. It was, disgusting to watch. And it was also disgusting to watch, what was that, in that game 3, I want to say, where OKC just got the doors blown off. You know what I'm saying? That was disgusting to watch. And, the fact that in that game was, a team forgetting how to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing when you're just breaking up shots, but when you're just fumbling the ball everywhere, forgetting how to catch the ball, forgetting how to, pass the ball, and you turn the ball over, you forget how to dribble. I mean, all that stuff is disgusting to watch as professional NBA players. And this game was, on par with that too. It was disgusting to watch these guys fumble the ball away. Like I said, to me, what really led to this blowout lead wasn't, yes, OKC would have had a lead, but these things right here where guys are just fumbling the ball, don't know how to dribble, throwing the ball out of bounds, all these turnovers is really what led OKC on this run. Instead of, two good teams on an NBA level going back and forth, and one team is just, maybe better overall. So they're going to be up because they're hitting baskets, and you might have, the Wolves, they're missing baskets, right? Something like that. But when you watch guys fumble the ball, don't know how to dribble, don't know how to catch a ball, and now they're turning over, throwing the ball out of bounds, stuff like that. This isn't professional grade basketball, folks. It's really not. It shows no accountability as a professional player. It doesn't. Again, you can give OKC all their credit that they deserve, but as a professional player, the way these guys are turning the ball over, especially last night in a big game where it's an elimination game, you're fumbling and bumbling the ball. To me, I think OKC would have won this game, no doubt about it. But I don't think they jumped to this type of lead and do maybe a 10-point lead all game. I'm fine with, OKC's the better team. But damn, at least it gives you some type of chance. If you didn't come out and you're fumbling the ball everywhere. It's disgusting, man. This is the one thing that these guys need to be held accountable for doing. Because the lead swelled because of that, folks. Because of that. And it was basically over because of that. Yes, OKC did put their defense on them, but damn. That's unexcusable. The coach, I don't know, man. He should be on the hot seat. That's all I'm going to say about this. I don't think this coach adjusted. He just didn't adjust. It was too many games and too many times that this coach has no adjustment. You know, his star player is not all there in the head, right? So you can't put it on his star player to adjust. You know what I'm saying? And when I say adjust, okay, they're doubling you. So okay, let's run let's run some plays. Let's run some sets to where it's got to be a guy open, and we're gonna burn. We're gonna burn them. We're gonna burn them every time they try to do this stuff, and they try to double Anthony Edwards. Let's get where's that open guy? As a matter of fact, we're gonna put him under the basket so he can get easy points. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put everybody low, because I saw one time Anthony Edwards is back the hell down, because while they were bringing the double team constantly, all his guys were not all of them, but a lot of them were at the 3-point line. So now it's all crowded up there, and he's got the double team on him. Nobody's flashing to the basket or nothing. But one time he said, look, y'all go down, get down in the paint, get away from me. Basically, so it can open up, some lanes. So even if they are double teaming me, I can take one of the guys off to the right or to the left, and it's open. But that's basically what you have to do, folks. This is not rocket science. This is not rocket science. Whatever guy is doubling, his guy has to be open. And I don't want his guy, now I don't want his guy at the 3-point line. I'm done with that. I want his guy open under the basket, cut to the basket, something like that. That's where I want his guy open at. And we're going to burn their asses. Second of all, where's the pick and roll for Anthony Edwards? Because when he's catching a ball, guess what? His guy, or not his guy, another defender is coming to help. Will put the double team on Anthony Edwards. Now, if you just immediately throw the pick and roll, then Anthony Edwards can go around the pick and roll, and they don't have a double team. So to me, you're either going to do that, give Anthony Edwards the ball, hit him with a pick and roll. Now you only got one guy on him. And to me, it looks like he was able to beat his guy every time he had a chance. Now, a lot of times he hit, and a lot of times he missed. Okay? But again, when they're throwing the double team at you, it's a guy. Why you're trying to tell me OKC wouldn't do that? OKC would eat that up if Shea was getting double teamed every time. They would recognize, okay, it's a guy open every time. Where's he at? And this excuse for Rudy Gobert, this is why you don't have a great analyst, play-by-play people for ESPN. These people make up so many excuses on why this, why that. Why Rudy Gobert is letting guys cut to the basket or drive to the basket. Oh, you got to respect Chet Holmgren. You got to respect Chet Holmgren at the 3. Look, buddy, I'm giving Chet Holmgren the 3 all day before I let a guy literally drive by me and get a layup, because that's what was going on. These are people who know nothing about basketball. And if they do, they know more about excuse making than actual NBA basketball folks. They try to throw up a graphic that makes 0 sense, that had nothing to do with anything before the game. Anthony Edwards, the most points in elimination game. I think it was like 25. But when they threw an age asterisk in it. They threw an age asterisk in it, folks. All they did was, well, basically his age. So he had to be first on the list. They didn't say nothing about did he win or not. Because last year when he got eliminated, what did he do? He didn't do nothing. Okay, and I didn't watch this game down to the end because it looked like, to me, that Timberwolves gave up in the fourth quarter. I don't know if he walked out without shaking hands. Probably did. And so I didn't get to see the presser or whatever like that, but I'll get to see it later on today to see what this fool had to say. And yeah, that's the graphic they put up. And they just basically talked about this guy all pregame ad nauseum. For what? Because they don't want to give Shea his due. They don't want to talk about Shea. They want to talk about this guy needs to come through. He's not that guy, man. Even though he took more shots. Look, I watched this guy miss open shots. Okay? And nobody's perfect. But this guy did miss a lot of open shots. He missed a lot of threes. From what I seen, I seen the guy airball 2 threes. Okay, and let's stop the excuse making. OKC is a great team, and that they don't have not yet, folks, not yet. Okay, I don't put them up there with a lot of all-time great teams yet. You know what I'm saying? With the 2000 of course, the 2000 Lakers, I don't put them up there, right? The level of competition they had to face in the skilled players, the superstar players on their team, and what they were able to accomplish. So, of course, the Lakers, you know, we can talk about the Lakers in the 80s. We can talk about the Celtics in the 80s. We can talk about the Bulls in the 90s. We can talk about the late 80s, you know, Pistons. We can talk about, you know, even that Detroit team. Now everybody sleeps on that 2000s Detroit team like they were just chumps. Come on, man. That's why I say a lot of these guys are just in it to make money. They're not in it to really tell NBA history. They're in there to inflate something that doesn't need to be inflated. Okay? You guys are trying to over appreciate something for what it is. They're not beating no all-time great teams. They're not beating no, to me, who's the all-time, you know, great players they're beating that really accomplish anything besides a joker. That's it. That's it. And he really didn't have no 1-2 punch. To be honest, he didn't have 2 superstars on that team. The teams I just spoke about, this team had that team had 2 superstars. Maybe except for the Pistons, the 2000 Pistons, but hell, they had stars. They had 1 superstar, maybe Ben Wallace to a degree, and then the rest of them were, you know, stars at, you know, a certain level. But to me, they're not better than that 2000 Pistons team. Are you crazy? That Pistons team was all-time great. Even though they won 1 championship, still all-time great. I mean, are they really better than the Big Three Celtics of the 2000s? The late 2000s? I don't know. I don't know. Are they really better than the back-to-back Kobe Lakers? I don't know. I don't know, folks. They haven't proven it. What about the Spurs? What about the 2000 Spurs? Are they really better than that 2000 Spurs? OKC. I'm just saying, man. This, and I'm gonna come right back to this next year, folks. This is what I'm gonna do. If OKC doesn't go back to back or make the finals next year, I'm coming right back to these talking points about how good are they really. So they're a better defensive team than that 60 Celtics? Folks, I think a lot of these guys need to slow their roll. What about the back-to-back Houston Rockets team? I mean, we could even talk about some teams that never won the championship. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say right there. We just really need to chill. Give these guys props in their own era, because we never said, oh, the 80s Celtics is better than the 2000 Lakers. The 2000 Lakers is a better team than, I don't know, the Chicago Bulls, or the Chicago Bulls is a better, you know, team than the 2000 Lakers. It's just crazy, man. This is what these guys, because this era is all about money. They want to overhype everything, especially before they even won a damn championship. Goodness God. You think they were saying the 96 Bulls were the greatest team of all time before they won the championship? No. They said they had the best regular season record of all time. Okay? Do you think that they said, what was it? I forget what year that was now. Was it 16? I think the Patriots went undefeated in the regular season. Yes, they said the Patriots was the best regular season team of all time. But nobody said they were the best team of all time before they won the Super Bowl, and they end up not winning the Super Bowl. Okay, so nobody says, and this goes back to what I used to say about LeBron James and how his whole career is just made up, or his legacy. When they say, they don't say that the Patriots were the greatest team of all time. They still say that, what was it, 72 Dolphins? because they were undefeated throughout the entire season. Or they won the championship too, right? So anybody with a brain knows that Golden State is not the greatest team of all time. The 16 Warriors. 16 Warriors are not the greatest team of all time just because they had the best regular season record of all time. They lost in the finals. So LeBron James did not beat the greatest team of all time. He didn't. He didn't with his super team. He did not beat the greatest team of all time. The greatest team of all time that drafted their core players versus LeBron James building a super team. So that's just what it is, folks. In that whole situation right there, that's just what it is. And it's going to be very interesting to see what they say tonight or today. And to me, it's just like I said, they're going to let Anthony Edwards off the hook. And to me, whatever you want to say, yes, the guy took more shots, but the guy is overrated, man. The guy is overrated. What he does best, he couldn't do it. What he does best, he couldn't do it. And what he does best is not slashing to the basket. He didn't do that in the regular season. I mean, not slashing to the basket, excuse me. The mid-range. That ain't what he does. That ain't what he does. What he does best is shoot the three. And he couldn't do that. Let me see. 39 minutes. So he had all his minutes. Played the most minutes, if I'm mistaken. Julius Randle actually had more points than him. Julius Randle was better from three. 4 for 6. Shot like hell from the field. And, is that a 5 or a 4? Hold on. No, he did it. He actually shot 50% from the field, if I'm not mistaken. Only missed one free throw. Turned the ball over like hell, Julius Randle. What do you have? 4 turnovers. So Anthony Edwards, 7 for 18 from the field. 1 for 7 from the three. 4 for 6 from the line. Had 3 turnovers. Minus 29, 19 points. So let's look at this, man. Why does it say he only played 7? Why does it say he only played 4 games against OKC? (19-6-2). I don't know why it says he only played 4 games. They lost in 5. Well, in this game, he shot 38%, 14% from 3, 66% from the free throw line. Of course, 19 points. Let me look at the series right here. See if I can find out the series. All these people want to talk. I don't want to talk. I want to look at stats. So he's averaging 23 points in the series. Of course, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 0.4 steals. Dude ain't playing a lick of defense. 0.6 blocks. Only putting up 17 shots. Shot 47% from the field, which is mind-blowing. and he shot 28% from three in a minus 41 for the game. And look, this is what I mean. When we go back and it was kind of reversal, right? Because in the regular season, he shot 40% from three and 44% from the field. So what does that tell you? Well, what it tells you is he's not a great shooter outside the three-point shot. Because again, when you look at the fact he shot 10 threes a game, he did nothing else other than maybe drive to the basket, right? And this year, we don't even think his driving to the basket was even as much as it was in the past. But it had to be there because, he shot 10 threes. Or he attempted 10 threes. And people will suck him off because he shot 40% from three. But when the realization is, what you need to realize is that in a regular season, they wasn't allowed to play defense, or they just slacked off, right? And he was getting a lot of open threes. That's why he was hitting a lot of open threes. Now, when you get 10 shots, that's a lot, folks. That's not nothing to scoff at. He was launching up a lot of threes. So if you're hitting 4 out of 10, that's really not good. It's really not good. A lot of people think it is, but it's really not good. And if you think it's good, because it's 40% isn't like groundbreaking. It's not something that, I don't think he led the league in percentage. %, I don't think led the league. I don't think he led in percentage this year. I think he led in attempts. Or I think, what was it? Steph Curry might have attempted just a little bit more. He's just not ready, man. And, I think a lot of this stuff done caught these guys off guard. The NBA should have continued to play non-physical defense. To me, it ain't really fair to these guys to play one style of basketball basically through the 2020s. And now you're trying to tell them when used to playing a three-point contest in the 2020s, now they have to play physical basketball. So to me, physical basketball and a three-point contest don't go together. When you're playing physical basketball, now you can get back to, real basketball that was played for a long time. Throw a guy the ball in the post, slow the game down, and play positional basketball. But these guys don't know how to do it. They have zero clue how to do that, folks. And it seems to me the coaches, for some reason, have zero capability to do these things. These are supposed to be head coaches that get paid millions of dollars to be able to adjust in the game. So I'm not going to put it on Anthony Edwards to make the adjustments in the game. I'm going to put it on the coach. And again, the adjustments are real easy. I mean, what they're trying to tell us is dog trash. Yes, does it work? Should it work? Yes. But what they're trying to tell us is trash. A double team. So if you're doing that all game, again, make the adjustments and find the open guy. This isn't something that should be done in game. It's something that should be done in practice. We're going to beat this over, and a college coach will know how to do this. So you guys tell me what you think, man.